Hey, what's up guys? Now, Chinese smartphone manufacturers have been really commencing an entrance in the local smartphone industry. Ranging from mid-range to high-end devices, there's really no stopping on these companies at penetrating in the Philippine market. Today we bring you one of Gionee's cards on the table, the Gionee Elife S5.5. Not only that this is the company's grandest flagship device, but it's also hailed as the world's slimmest smartphone. And besides having an ultra-thin form factor, the Elife S5.5 also sports some high-end specifications. But is the world's slimmest smartphone really the one for you? Or you should maybe consider a more chunkier device to suit your needs? Let's figure that out in our full review. Now we will head straight to probably the highlight of this review. What is causing a lot of buzz on this device is its title, the world's slimmest smartphone. This device has a marvelous thickness of only 5.5mm. Now, if you are still clueless on really how ridiculously narrow it is, let me give you a perspective. First, we will compare it to the Motorola Droid Razr, which is actually one of the pioneers of this ultra-thin category. This device had a thickness of 7.1mm. Also, for your better understanding, let me compare it to a more trendy device. We'll have the Apple iPhone 5s, which boasts a 7.6mm in diameter. Now, as you can see, each numbers may not look too far away from another, but I tell you, the difference is distinctively noticeable when you hold it in your hands. Also, another design plus is the inclusion of Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which protects the device back to back. And also, we got a magnesium alloy sides, which gives the device a more premium look. The front of the device is where the 5-inch capacitive display is rested, together with the ambient light and proximity sensors, a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, and the capacitive buttons. At the top is where the micro USB port is sitting all alone, and at the bottom are the 3.5mm headphone jack and the built-in microphone are seated. The left side has the volume controls and the lock and power switch, while the right side only had the micro SIM card slot. At the back we got the 13-megapixel camera with flash, and of course the built-in speakers. But it's not always clear skies on any smartphone devices. Like on this one, there have been some few compromises to achieve the slimmest in the world title. First, this device only supports one micro SIM card slot, which is in contrast to other octa-core devices who are actually offering dual SIM capability. Second, there's no micro SD card slot, which means you are limited with its 16GB onboard storage. And lastly, it doesn't have an LED notification indicator, which is a feature that became a necessity for me. Plus, almost high-end and even the mid-range devices have it. There are maybe some hiccups on this device, but hey, I'm not complaining, as I really did actually love the results of these shortcomings. The Elife S5.5 has a Super AMOLED display, which is actually made by Samsung, with 1080x1920 resolution and has a 441 pixels per inch. And all I can say is, the display's performance is just plain impressive. It got the perfect saturation and contrast, and the colors and details are far more accurate and vivid than what my eyes can actually perceive. It also has some wide viewing angles, and sunlight visibility is great with almost no glares or even reflections thanks to its Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Watching movies or any other videos looked also impressively good on this one. Not only that it has the great saturation and details, but the movements on a film look more accurately displayed on this one, as if I was really watching on a high-definition TV. The device is being governed by Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, but as of this review, Gionee have already started rolling out the 4.4.2 KitKat update, gratefully skipping the 4.3 Jelly Bean and 4.4 KitKat. Though I haven't still received the update yet as it is still on the rollout stage, but I am hopeful that it will arrive anytime soon. Also on top of Android sits the Gionee's very own Amigo UI 2.0. Well, I have praised this homegrown UI before for being attractive and efficient. The UI effectively utilizes the device's processing resources to deliver exemplary performance. Not only that it's power efficient, but it also looks good in the eyes. The look of the buttons and some of the icons have this bubbly design and curvy edges. Though everything may look good, but first-time users may have a very peculiar feeling with some of the device's gestures and ways. First, almost everything is being done by swiping up or down, like unlocking the screen, which is by the way have these cool transition effects. closing applications from the multitasking tab, answering or rejecting calls, and many more. Probably one gesture that I have really loved on this one is the knock-knock feature, which became famous on LG devices. Basically what happens is, the screen turns on when you double tap on it. Also, this particular UI doesn't have an app drawer, so you might want to batch those applications into folders to prevent clutter. The lock screen also has these pretty clever features. Swiping to the left shall reveal a tab that has the shortcuts to the camera and video recorder, which is actually complete with a mini viewfinder. Also, we got a shortcut for the flashlight, and probably the most clever of them all, the fake call feature. Basically what it does is, it generates a fake call after 15 seconds, which helps you to get away with those awkward real-life situations. But in case the Amigo UI is not your cup of tea, you can always download a third-party launcher in the Google Play Store. This device is packed with a powerful processor, which is something surprising for an ultra-thin device like this. It is running on MediaTek's true octa-core processor and backed up with its 2GB of RAM and Mali-450MP GPU. Now this device is really a monster performer. Also with the help of its efficient Amigo UI 2.0, everything can be performed fluidly. The device also garnered a score of 27,857 in Antutu benchmark, which clearly justifies how vigorous this one is. For a better perspective, it is quite comparable to the Galaxy S4 and the HTC One M7. Gamers will surely love this one as the games I have tested like the Asphalt 8 Airborne, GTA San Andreas, and the Riptide GP2 run impressively well on this one. I have even maxed out the game's graphic settings and it was still able to handle it well. Probably the only hurdle on this one is that the device tends to overheat incredibly fast. And there were even times when I'm just taking videos or just browsing on the internet and the device will just heat up questionably. Though these types of hiccups are actually expected to devices which are super slim like this, but the case on this one is quite substantial. The Elife S5.5 is being powered by a 2300 mAh battery, which is probably one of the compromises they have made to deliver a ultra slim smartphone. As I have said before, a 2300 mAh battery is only ideal for quad-core devices, but for an octa-core device like this, and despite of all the power optimizations that MediaTek have made, it is still not that impressive at all. But nevertheless, the device was still able to stay up at a decent amount of time. It was able to last for 1.5 days with light to moderate use, and almost 3.5 hours with heavy use. The 13MP shooter on this one is really a performer. Well, because the photos it took look vibrant and well saturated, and colors and details are precise. Though the only downside that I have encountered is the autofocus performance, as it sometimes fails to detect the subject that I want to highlight. But when it successfully detected it, the subject is still not that well exposed. Also, another highlight of this device is its 5MP front-facing camera with wide-angle lens. Now, having a wide-angle lens just obviously means that it can take wider shots compared to ordinary camera lenses, which is perfect for full-body selfies and group shots with friends. Now, let me illustrate it by comparing it to a regular front-facing camera. Here we have a photo I have took with my friends on a iPhone 5S. As you can see, not everyone really fits on the frame. Now, let us reveal the photo I have took with the wide-angle lens of the S5.5. As you can see, now everyone fits perfectly on the frame. The device also has some relatively rich camera app. The controls are dressed with these dial buttons and sliding switches. It also features a level meter which gives you a leg up on taking perfect angle shots. Though it may not be the most feature-rich, but it still manages to attain the essentials. Panorama, Sports, HDR, and Night modes are present. The Gionee Elife S5.5 really got what it takes to seduce its prospective users. It is all because of its powerful true octa-core processor, a stunning Super AMOLED display, wide-angle front camera, Android 4.4.2 KitKat, and of course the title of being the slimmest in the world. And I must say that this device is one of my favorites so far. All of its goodness was stuffed together on a compact body. And with its retail price of only 21,999 pesos, this one is clearly worth your money. Though it's not for everyone as the price is still considerably heavy. And now, probably the only hindrance that would make some people think twice on considering this device is the luxury of branding. Well, it's no secret that the first item on the list when consumers are trying to consider a device is the brand's name, making companies like Samsung, Apple, LG, and many others as their recourse. But I tell you, these Chinese brands are worth the shot. They have proven themselves in their previous products. And mind you, these are not your conventional low quality made in China products. These are actually products that poised to dominate the industry with their utmost clever ideas. For those people who value the design more than anything else, this is the phone to get. This has been NoypiGeeks' full review of the Gionee Elife S5.5. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button or share this video if you liked it. And also subscribe if you still haven't. Thank you for watching.